I'm Kat, and this tutorial is how to make this arrowhead patterned friendship bracelet. I chose a mixture of different shades of greens for this one, but you can do yours in whatever colors you want. Black and white, rainbow pattern, anything goes. Now this is an intermediate level bracelet, so if you haven't made friendship bracelets yet, you should watch my video on learning the 4 types of knots, do a candy stripe, and then get the hang of a chevron before you attempt this one. And here is the pattern I'm using. It is number 28 on friendshipbracelets.net. I'm doing this in a gradient, so I have my 6 different colors of embroidery floss, and I'm going to cut 1 string of each at 70 inches. So now that I've cut my strings to 70 inches, I'm going to find both ends of each string and just kind of hold them together like this and find the very center of all the strings and tie that in a loop. Just like that, and I'll clip that up under my board. And next I will lay out my strings. But if you didn't want your bracelet to come out in any specific order of colors, you can just put the strings wherever you want them and then just make sure that they're a mirror image of the same string on both sides. Let's get started on the first row, and I'm going to start working on the left side. So I will take my first and second string and do a forward knot. And those strings will switch places. Then I'll take the third and fourth string, do another forward knot. Those strings will switch places. And then the last 2 strings will do another forward knot. So that's the left side. I'll kind of scoot those out of the way and then work on the right side. And I will work from right to left. My first 2 strings on the outside will be a backward knot. So the right string is going over the left string, and then they'll switch places. The next 2 strings, I will do another backward knot. And that is right over left, they'll switch places. And the last 2 strings on the right side, working right over left, another backward knot, and those switch places. So now my 2 darkest strings are in the center. And now for the second row. So for the second row, you have your 2 strings that are on the very outside, the far left and the far right strings, and those are going to sit this one out. So just shove them out of the way. And then you're going to repair your strings, just like this. So those 2 center ones that are the same color will go together. And again, you'll want to make sure everything stays in a mirror image. So if it's not all in a mirror image at this point, you've done something wrong. So fix it. So your 2 outside strings are sitting this one out. Then starting with the far left strings, you're going to do a forward backward knot. So it's going to start like a forward knot, finish like a backward knot. And the left string is going to be tying on to the right string. Starts like a forward, ends like a backward, so the strings don't switch place. Next one is the same thing. Left string tying onto the right string, starts as a forward, ends as a backward. And then your 2 center strings together are going to be a forward knot. And they will switch place. Then working from right to left, you will do a backward forward knot. So the right string is tying onto the left string. They're not switching places. And then another backward forward knot. Those 2 strings don't switch place. And it will look something like this. So that is the second row. Now with the third row, you're going to bring your outer 2 strings back in, repair all of your strings, just like that. And then starting from the left, do a backward knot, So that is the right string tying onto the left string. They switch places. Another backward knot. Those two switch places. And another backward knot. Those two switch places. Now working on the right side, you do the same thing in reverse. So that is a forward knot. Your left string ties onto your right string, and they switch places. Another forward knot. Left string tying onto the right string. And one last forward knot, and that's done. Now for the fourth row, your outer two strings are going to sit this one out once again, just like that, and you will repair all of your strings. Again, double check that everything's still in a mirror image so nothing gets off track. And then starting from left, we're going to do a backward forward knot. So the right string ties onto the left string, backward forward knot, they don't switch places. And then the next two do the same thing, another backward forward knot. They do not switch places. The center string is a plain old forward knot. Those two switch places, not that it really matters because they're the same color. And then working on the right side, this one will be a forward backward knot. Left string tying onto the right string, starts as a forward, ends as a backward, string switch places. The next two is a forward backward knot. And that row is finished. Then you're going to bring your two outside strings back in and repair everything once again. And this is your fifth row. Your first two strings will be a forward knot. String switch place. Next two, do another forward knot. And the next two, another forward knot. So that side is done. Then on the right side, this will be a backward knot. Another backward knot. And one more backward knot, and that completes your fifth row. Now onto the sixth row. You will again take out your outer strings and repair everything. And for your sixth row, starting on the left, do a forward knot. another forward knot. Do a forward knot in those center strings. And then on the right side, a backward knot. Another backward knot. And that completes your 6th row. So now from this point, if you're following along to do this, you'll just rewind the video back to the beginning and start that first row over again. And if you remember, the first row did have the outer 2 strings in it. And you're just going to repeat this pattern over and over until you run out of string or your bracelet is as long as you want it. Once you've gotten your bracelet to the length that you want it, tie off your work in 2 separate sections. Then clip down your work and braid each section. Then tie off your braids and trim the ends. And your bracelet is finished.